Hello and welcome to Byju's IAS. This is your daily quiz for 25th of October 2021. I hope all of you are doing good and ready to face the questions. Question number 1 on your screen is this. Gavi, GAVI, often seen in the news, refers to which of the following? Number 1. Global Vaccine Alliance formed specifically to expedite the rollout of COVID vaccine around the world. Second, Global Vaccine Alliance formed under the OECD guidelines. Third, Global Vaccine Alliance with a goal of increasing access to immunization in poor nations. Or fourth, Global Vaccine Alliance working on rolling out world's first anti-malarial vaccine. All these given statements are very close to each other. The correct answer here is C. Gavi has been in the news ever since the COVID vaccine program has been rolled out. There is a misconception that Gavi is specifically formed for COVID vaccine only, but the reality is it came into being in the year 2000. And since then, it has been working on spreading the accessibility to vaccines, especially in the poor developing nations around the world. Gavi is also heading the COVAX program, as you would have heard. The COVAX program again is a program under which nations across the world are coming together, pooling their access vaccines to give it to the developing nations around the world. In fact, India also has got some vaccine doses from the COVAX program, which is headed by Gavi. This is an article in today's Hindu newspaper. It's an interview of Anuradha Gupta, who is the deputy CEO of Gavi. Do read this article to get more details about the Gavi program and how India is also strengthening from it. The article also talks about the fact that Indian government's CoWIN app, which has been used to book appointments for the COVID vaccine, has played a key role in ensuring that India's COVID vaccine rollout becomes successful. Moving on to question number 2. Consider the following statements with regards to the National Fund to Control Drug Abuse and choose the correct ones. Number 1. The fund is overseen by Social Justice and Empowerment Ministry. Second, the fund was created in accordance with the provision of Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985 with a nominal corpus of 23 crore rupees. Third, the act states that the fund would be used to combat illicit trafficking of narcotics, rehabilitating addicts, and preventing drug abuse. You have to choose the correct ones. The correct answer here is D. All the given statements are absolutely correct. As you would know, the reason why this fund is relevant again is because of the ongoing Aryan Khan case, in which the NCB has been trying to capture the illegal drug trafficking ring that exists in the country. There was an article in the Hindu newspaper today which talked about this particular fund and how the Social Justice and Empowerment Ministry has now said that the money in this fund should also be used to carry out de addiction programs rather than just helping in policing activities to control this menace in the society. This is one of those funds which is not really talked about a lot, which is not very famous, but because of the ongoing case, it has become pretty relevant. Moving on to the third question. Consider the following statements with regards to additional judges in the High Court and choose the incorrect ones. Number 1. The Parliament determines the maximum number of additional judges permitted in any High Court in India. Second, the maximum tenure of an additional judge is 2 years. And third, the additional judges in the High Court are appointed by the governor of that state. Which of these is incorrect? Pretty basic question from Indian polity. The correct answer here is C. 1 and 3 are wrong. The second statement is correct. The maximum tenure that an additional judge gets is 2 years. The first statement is wrong because it is the President of India who decides how many additional judges are required in any high court depending upon the number of cases that are pending or depending upon how many cases usually come. Third statement is also wrong. It is the President of India that appoints additional judges. So the President of India is the one that appoints judges and the High Court and in the Supreme Court, not the governor. Second statement is true. The maximum tenure for any additional judge would be 2 years. Similar to additional judges at the High Court level, we also have a concept of ad hoc judges at the Supreme Court level. However, the difference is at the Supreme Court, ad hoc judges don't have any maximum defined tenure. The reason why we are discussing this question is because of this Indian Express news, according to which 10 additional judges of Punjab and Haryana High Court have now been appointed as permanent judges in the High Court. Moving on, question number 4. Consider the following statements with regards to the GIFT City, GIFT. Number 1. It is located in Gujarat's Gandhinagar. Second, it is a greenfield project. Third, it would only have commercial areas and no residential facilities. Which of these given statements is or are correct? Now, out of the three given statements that you see, first is correct, second is correct, while the third statement is wrong. The gift city would have commercial as well as residential facilities. In fact, one of India's largest real estate developers, that is Sobha, is in the process of making state of the art residential facilities with the most modern facilities available. GIFT, as you know here, stands for Gujarat International Finance Tech City. It is based in Gujarat's Gandhinagar and it's an entirely greenfield project. Now, usually you divide projects into greenfield and brownfield. The difference between greenfield and brownfield is greenfield projects are the ones that are built from the scratch. That is, no infrastructure existed earlier. You are building something from the scratch. That is a greenfield project. Brownfield project is mainly about updating the current infrastructure. So some infrastructure existed earlier, you're upgrading that. That would be considered as a brownfield project. First and second thus are correct. Third statement is wrong. And the correct answer here is A. The reason why we are asking this question is because of this article in the Indian Express newspaper that says that Gift City is in the process of becoming a hub, specially for reinsurance companies. It talks about IFSC, that is International Finance Services Center, setting up their base in the Gift City. Gift City has been in the news for quite some time now, ever since the government started the planning and government introduced this idea. However, the implementation and the speed of construction has not lived up to the expectations, and that is why the aim of the government of making this an ideal city for businesses has not fruitified till now. Moving on to the next question. This is a question from 2019 prelims examination with reference to AIIB, that is Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Consider the following statements. Number 1. AIIB has more than 80 member nations. Second, India is the largest shareholder in AIIB. Third, AIIB does not have any members from outside Asia. Which of these is or are correct? The correct answer here is A. One only is correct. Second is wrong. As expected, China, that is behind the formation of AIIB, is the largest shareholder, while India is the second largest shareholder in AIIB. The third statement also is wrong. There are nations from outside Asia as well who are members of AIIB. And don't be surprised by this. Even when you talk about the Asian Development Bank, that also has members from outside Asia. For example, USA is also a member of the Asian Development Bank. Some of the nations from outside Asia which are members include Australia and New Zealand. It is headquartered in Beijing and started its operations in 2016. Time now to discuss the fact of the day. And today we would be discussing about the Prime Minister's Museum. This is an article from the Hindu newspaper today that talks about the Prime Minister's Museum, which is likely to miss the deadline. It was expected that this museum would be complete by October 2021. However, as per a recent statement by the Government of India, it is expected to miss this deadline, and the government is planning to inaugurate it on the birthday of late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, that is on December 25. Now, this particular museum is being built on the premises of Teen Murti Bhavan, that is a residence of India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. It would showcase the contribution of all the prime ministers of India till date. It would also have a souvenir shop and many other audiovisual displays which would tell the public more about the lives of all the prime ministers, including their contribution that made India what it is today. This is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.